Yo, this shit OP.
Welcome to Spark from Home 2020. My name is Manon.
And my name is Ella.
And we are your MCs for this event. To kick off the event, we have a very special guest to speak with all of you today.
Yes, very special guest. Please welcome Mayor Patrick Brown. As mayor of the city of Brampton, he is focused on creating the economic climate for new investment and jobs. He is deeply passionate about funding for better healthcare, transit, affordable housing, and education. With a very fast-growing youth and senior population, Mayor Brown thrives to expand the recreation facilities and programs. Here's a word from our special guest, Mayor Brown.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the first ever Spark from Home Hackathon. I'm so pleased to see that this event is continuing in our new normal in an online format. COVID-19 can't keep us from doing what we love. I'd like to recognize our organizers of this event, AllSpark 9, a high-performing FIRST robotics team, for putting together a great agenda. What an itinerary you have. I almost wish I could participate myself. The next couple of days look like they will be fantastic, with a great mix of fun and learning. A Marvel design workshop, a virtual escape room, and a Pokemon Showdown tournament. What more could you ask for? The city of Brampton is always proud to sponsor these events. They fit in perfectly with our focus on building talent in our city. Here in Brampton, we are working to foster an innovation ecosystem, and we are very interested in nurturing your interest in these subjects. You are our future. Did you know that building an innovation district is happening right now in Brampton? It's a very exciting time, and so you could be part of it. You could be part of our future innovation ecosystem. And it's a great place for hackers like yourself to continue your ideas, your innovation. So check us out and be part of the momentum we're building in downtown Brampton. But first, I wish you an inspiring and insightful couple of days and much luck as you forge your future. Success doesn't just find you, you have to go out and get it. And being here today demonstrates your commitment to future success.
Technology is revolutionizing the world at the speed of light, solving problems and allowing us to do things that we'd never before imagined. Creativity and innovation has been the backbone of our modern way of living, and for that we can thank the innovators that chose to solve the problems that desperately needed solving. Now, every innovator has stepping stones of experience that help them tackle the predicaments of the future. For you, Spark could be one of those stepping stones.
Now, for those of you that don't know Spark, the dictionary definition of Spark would be a 24-hour initiative ran entirely by students where it challenges them to solve a problem and produce a hack that can be applied to the real world. However, Spark is more than that. Spark is all about exploring your interests in STEAM through problem solving. We aim to create an environment where students can learn more about the topics they're interested in by making them solve real-life problems about it. On top of that, Spark provides opportunities to attend workshops, interact with our diversely interested student network, and get advice from industry leaders from every STEAM sector. We highly encourage you to broaden your horizons and challenge yourself during this event.
But before we get into the details of the event, here's a word from our chair and vice chair, Mahek Dhaliwal and Komal Vichani.
Hey everyone, welcome to Spark from Home 2020. My name is Mahek and I'm the chair of Spark.
Hey everyone, it's Komal and I'm vice chair at Spark. We're super excited to have you guys here for Spark's very first 36-hour virtual hackathon.
Past 5 months, our team has been working tirelessly to create the most epic virtual hackathon. For the next 36 hours, we have several activities and workshops planned all for you.
This event would not have been made possible without our wonderful sponsors at DigitalOcean, MapleSoft, Wolfram, Balsamiq, City of Brampton, Brampton Library, Gens Up, Linode, 1Password, Bugsy, VoiceFlow, and IT Global and Canada Service Corp. Thank you for all your support in helping provide our hackers with awesome resources that they'll be using for this hackathon and further. And lastly, a huge thank you goes out to all of you guys. With all your support, we're proud to say that we have raised over $1,100 to donate to causes that matter the most for you, such as Black Lives Matter, COVID-19, the Yemen crisis, and youth mental health.
But remember that this isn't just a hackathon, it's an event to help build your connection and network and learn. So have a positive mindset, have a positive attitude, and connect with these awesome people that we have here today. All the participants with a diverse background and diverse mindsets. And then our mentors and judges who are all available and wanting to listen to you. So take this opportunity to build those connections, build those personal relationships that hopefully can help you in the future and after this event too. And remember, you get what you put in.
Okay, that's enough for Mahak and I. Let's get a word in from our sponsors.
Would you build a house before making plans for it? Then you shouldn't build a website, an app, or a piece of software without wireframing its key pages and screens. Business owners, product managers, designers, and programmers all use Balsamiq to clarify, iterate, and communicate their user interface ideas. A simple but invaluable step which saves you from feature creep and from wasting a bunch of time and money coding the wrong thing. Balsamiq is the industry-leading solution for fast, approachable, collaborative online wireframing. The app is incredibly easy to use. If you can use Microsoft Office, you can use Balsamiq. You won't believe how fast you can whip up screens and web pages. We compete with pencil and paper, and we win. We keep things at low fidelity so people don't get hung up on details too early in the process, and they don't confuse your wireframes for the final design. We've been working on wireframing tools for 10 years now, so we know which features you need and which you don't. Plans start at $9 a month with unlimited users. Give us a try for free at balsamiq.cloud and see for yourself. Any questions? Ask away. We're good people and we care.
Linode's cloud computing platform accelerates innovation by making Linux virtual machines simple, affordable, and accessible to all. Hundreds of thousands of businesses and developers all around the world have deployed and scaled their modern applications faster and easier on Linode. With Linode, your team can more efficiently build web, mobile, database, and machine learning applications with our simple cloud manager or API and CLI. Only pay for what you use, with pricing that's predictive, consistent, and transparent across every global data center. And advanced cloud solutions that deliver the best price-to-performance ratio in the industry. Easily scale up or down in seconds across our comprehensive solutions, ranging from standard VMs to dedicated CPUs and enterprise-grade graphical processors. But behind the cloud, we're people, like you, ready to talk whenever you need us, 24/7. So running on Linode means you get the support experience you love and the tools you need for total control over your infrastructure. This is the future of cloud computing, ready for you today. Linode.
The Maple Companion lets you solve even complicated math problems using your phone. Want to check your homework and the answer isn't in the back of the book? Simply take a picture of your question and select the mathematical operation you want to perform. You can also enter problems using the built-in math editor. You can use the Maple Companion to solve problems from many different math, science, and engineering courses. The Maple Companion can handle problems from algebra, calculus, linear algebra, differential equations, and more. And if you want to go even further, you can upload your expression into Maple, ready to go. Want even more visualization options to help you understand the question or solution better? Just upload your math to Maple and then plot the expression at a click of a button. Need help solving your problem? Use the Maple Companion combined with Maple's tutors and other built-in learning tools. Have to enter a large expression into Maple and want to avoid transcription errors? Use the Maple Companion. Or maybe you want to grab some math now that you'll need in Maple later. If you have a math problem to solve, the Maple Companion is here to help. For more information about the Maple Companion and to provide suggestions on new ways it can help students learn math, visit www.maplesoft.com.
Due to unforeseen circumstances, the Spark Hackathon will be conducted remotely this year. Now, as news that is, it does not mean the quality of your project should be any different than what we've been encouraging and promoting for the past 2 years of this hackathon. We want to see how you can change the world from the comfort of your own home. We want to see you collaborate with your teammates and create something that you can be proud of at the end of this event.
Last year's theme was Sustainable Cities. Hackers were given a central question, asked to code a solution, and pitch it to a panel of judges. This year is no different. At the end of the opening ceremony, you will receive a theme which you can program, develop, and design a product for. After that, explain your product in a comprehensive 3 to 5 minute video, which will be reviewed by a panel of expert judges.
There will be 2 divisions for the competition this year, a middle school division and a high school division. Each division will have a winning team in each of the following categories: Best Hack, Best Pitch, and Best Overall. The prizes for the Best Hack include 4 Wolfram licenses, $250 in DigitalOcean credits, $500 in Bugsy credits, and 4 Amazon Echoes. The prizes for the Best Pitch include 4 Wolfram licenses, $250 in DigitalOcean credits, and 4 Bluetooth speakers. The prizes for Best Overall include 4 Wolfram licenses, $500 in DigitalOcean credits, and 4 Google Home Nest Minis.
Now please welcome our keynote speaker, Andrew Souza. Andrew Souza is the co-founder and CEO of ClearBank, the biggest e-commerce investor in the world. ClearBank has invested $1 billion into more than 2,200 e-commerce and software companies using data science to identify high-growth funding opportunities in less than 24 hours. Andrew has raised hundreds of millions of dollars in venture capital and is an advisor and investor to companies such as Wealthsimple, Properly, and Tulip Retail. Prior to ClearBank, Andrew was the president of Nimi, a wearable platform focused on identity and security, and the COO of education startup Top Hat.
Hey, Spark hackers. It's Andrew Souza, co-founder and CEO of ClearBank here, and just wanted to say hi and congratulations, and just it's really awesome that you guys are taking these couple days to build. I remember when I was in high school, I loved building. That's why I studied engineering. That's why I got into tech and built startups. And actually, it's a big part of the reason why we started ClearBank is we wanted to empower more founders and entrepreneurs to be able to build and create, solve problems that they see in the world. And so it's amazing that today, some of the things that you're able to go create in a matter of hours, and that tenacity, that speed, that ability to just come up with a creative idea, test it out, solve it, put it out in the world. Don't lose that. At ClearBank, we're 200 people, and we still try and figure out what's the fastest way to hack things, and have a hypothesis and solve a problem. So I was trying to think about, what messages do I want to get across, and what are some of the things that I wish I had heard when I was in high school, when I was building things. And 3 areas that I thought would be helpful is understanding responsibility and how to take responsibility, the concept of Venn diagrams in your career, and how to design a career around it, and the secret to happiness, which is something I'm 35 years old. I've only just learned, and so if I had learned this much earlier, then I would have been much happier much earlier in life. But let me start with the concept of responsibility, and I talk to my team about this a lot. In today's world, I think a lot of times we equate responsibility with blame, right? And so you say, if I'm responsible for the environment, right? It's like, okay, am I to blame because of the environmental issues or social justice and racism? I'm afraid to take responsibility because it's not my fault. I wasn't to blame for it. But these concepts are actually quite different. And blame we can set aside and say, let's not even talk about all of the problems that are in the world that we want to go solve. Who cares about who's to blame? And we've gotten into a very blame-focused society. But let's actually talk about responsibility. And one of the beautiful things is you can choose to take responsibility for anything. You can choose to take responsibility for solving, environmental issues and climate change. You can choose to take responsibility for solving social inequality. You can choose to take responsibility for racism. You can choose to take responsibility for COVID and the pandemic we're going into. It's not your fault, but it really empowers you. And I think my guess is many of you are doing this with your hackathon projects. You're choosing to take responsibility for a problem that you may have had no part in creating or building, but you're choosing to take responsibility for the solution because it's something that matters to you and it's something that's important to you. And I think that's a really powerful concept as you're thinking about building your career. And so I would encourage you not to lose that. And as you see injustices, as you see problems, opportunities in the world, you can choose to take responsibility for them and own them, right? And own the solution wholeheartedly. And I think when you've fully taken ownership and responsibility for a problem, the progress that you can make in solving that is unlimited. So that's one concept I wanted to chat about a little bit. The second is this idea, and I got this one from one of our data scientists on our team who actually just left to go start his own company, and he's one of the most brilliant people. I still keep a biweekly call with him because I learn a lot of my management strategies and leadership strategies from actual conversations with him. But it's this idea of Venn diagrams, and let me explain a little bit what that means. So a Venn diagram is sort of an intersection of multiple circles, right? And you sort of say, look, it's really hard to be the best in the world at one thing, right? If you want to be the best software developer in the world, computer programmer in the world, it's really hard. There's only one. There's 7 billion people. There's only one best software developer in the world. But when you start to combine a few things, right? Let's say you're a really good musician, and you're a really good software developer. And then let's say you're really good, and you don't have to be the best, but you're just better than average, right? You could be in the top 25%. You could be better than most of your friends in 2 or 3 things, right? It could be sales, engineering and music. It could be dancing. It could be, it could be a creative thing. It could be something that just you're passionate about, you're excited about, and you're pretty good at, right? You don't have to be amazing. You don't even have to be the best among your friends, just better than average. And you would be excited about doing that for a long time and improving that skill. All of a sudden, when you build that Venn diagram and you layer those 2 or 3 or 4 things on top of each other, you can be the best person, you can be the only person who is in the top 25% in 3 or 4 things. If you're in the top 25% in 3 things, you're probably in the 1% of the population. And then you can just find, it's actually probably higher than 1% of the population. And the more specific you can be about those categories and those things that you're focused on, the higher likelihood you can be in that top 1%. And then it's just about finding a role or an opportunity or a job or a problem to solve that needs that exact combination. And that's a much easier sort of search problem than saying, hey, I'm going to be the best at one thing in that field and dominate everything. And so I think as you think about your career, it's almost developing those Venn diagrams and carving your own story can be a really powerful technique. And then the last thing is the idea of happiness. And one of the best definitions that I've heard of happiness is if you get what you want at that moment. And so if I'm really hungry and somebody gives me a cookie, I'm going to be very happy, right? Because I wanted a cookie, somebody gave me a cookie, I eat it, I'm happy. If I'm full, or if I'm asleep, right? If I'm sleeping and somebody gives me a cookie, I'm probably not going to be very happy because I didn't want it, right? That's not what I wanted in that moment. And so if you think about happiness as really being the intersection of what you want at that moment in time and then what you get, there's a really powerful hack, which is just flip it around and decide to want what's in front of you. So if your legs are tired, just decide to want that. Be like, oh yeah, I want my legs to be tired. If you're hungry, I'm like, yeah, actually I'm enjoying this experience of being hungry, right? Like I want to experience that. Food smells better, right? Like you can actually choose to want exactly what's in front of you. And it's, it takes practice, but you can basically say, what's my situation right now? It's hot. Well, okay, I want it to be hot. I'm happy with it being hot. And all of a sudden, like, as soon as you want it, as soon as you actually can convince yourself to want what's in front of you and see, the beauty, the challenge, the abilities of that, you've hacked your way into happiness in any situation. You can just, as long as you can just say, hey, I want this situation, and wholeheartedly want it and embrace it and see the beauty and see the learning and see the opportunity and the growth in it, then you've hacked your way into happiness. So anyway, I think I've probably gone over my time, but wanted to share a few thoughts and again say congratulations and excited to see all of the fantastic stuff that you guys have built. Yeah, please keep in touch and keep going. Cheers.
Wow, that was so inspiring. I really enjoyed hearing about his experiences. Now let's welcome another amazing keynote speaker to the stage, Wali Shah. As an alumni of RBC's top 25 Canadian immigrants, Wali Shah is a poet and public speaker. He's delivered TED Talks, created poetry for corporate events, narrated voiceovers for commercials, and spoke at hundreds of schools and colleges across North America. Wali has toured Canada coast to coast as a weekday performer and closed out President Obama's keynote speech with a bespoke poetic message in Toronto. He has impressed notable figures with his freestyle poetry and performance, including Seth Rogen, Chris Hadfield, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and Kendrick Lamar. Wali also served his hometown as poetic laureate for the city of Mississauga. His work inspires thousands to follow his voice, his journey, and his advocacy. Wali is the people's messenger. Please welcome Wali Shah.
Spark Conference 2020, what's going on? It's your boy Wali Shah. Was super excited to be part of the conference last year, and I'm equally as excited to be a part of it this year. Although it is sad it's all virtual and I can't be there to hang out with you guys in person, I'm still glad we were able to make it work. And so welcome to all of you who are returning, and welcome to all of you who are new. I hope you guys have a great time this year, and I wanted to kick it off with you for 2020 and just do something really fun and a little bit insightful. So I got some poetry here today, and I just want to leave you with a quick message to kick this off, and I hope you guys enjoy it. This poem that I've written is called Class of 2020, and for the graduating students that are just graduating or have graduated in June, I think this is a tough time to be in school, but I think there's also an important element of looking at things with a different perspective. So I wrote this poem for all of us to take a second to think about perspectives. Here it goes. Graduating class of 2020. Respectfully, this world has lost to COVID. Nobody believes that making it through this together is possible. This won't pass. It's meaningless to think if we just keep our distance, we'll be fine. Keep letting our environment die. There's no more time to make things better. And we could do better for the world until we remember money and clout is the most important thing in life. Family is all we have. It's hard to hear when we fight all the time these days. We will be fine is a lie. No one will take our call. This was a permanent L. Nobody will say, thank you for sacrificing your graduation because you saved my life, unless we reverse things. Thank you for sacrificing your graduation. You saved my life. Nobody will say, this was a permanent L. It's time to make things better. There's no more letting our environment die. Money and clout is the most important thing in life until we remember we could do better for the world. We fight all the time these days is hard to hear when family is all we have. If we just keep our distance, we'll be fine. It's meaningless to think that this won't pass. Making it through this together is possible. Nobody believes that this world has lost to COVID. Respectfully, graduating class of 2020. Thank you guys. Hope you enjoyed that. The poem that I wrote is a style of poetry called palindrome poetry. So when you write this poem, and if you read it backwards, it still makes sense. So that way, it almost has two different meanings. And the reason I wanted to write it like that is because a lot of us have been very deeply affected by COVID. A lot of us have affected, by our jobs, or, if you're in school, not having a graduation ceremony, not being able to go to prom. People have lost their relationships. People, unfortunately, have even lost their loved ones or family members that have gotten sick and potentially passed away. These are really difficult times for a lot of people. And with that being said, there's a gut reaction that we have when bad things happen. We start blaming life. We start blaming the universe, or we start blaming other people. And that's a natural reaction. And I think a lot of people will always do that. But I think there's also something to be said about flipping the perspective and thinking about the good that has come from COVID and from the past couple months in our world. Because at the end of the day, there's been some good as well. A lot of people have taken the time to be with their families that otherwise never would have done that. People have gotten the chance to stay connected and build a strong community online and switch to digital platforms in their work, which are more important than ever right now. People have gotten the chance to talk about racial discrimination and inequality in our world, which has taken the world by storm. And, this generation could very well be the one that destroys racism forever. There's so many good things that have come of these past couple of months that we need to take a second just to have the right perspective to think about, right? Even though you didn't get a chance to go to prom or you didn't get a chance to go to grad, maybe you saved someone's life because that large event, that organized event could have led to someone getting really sick, right? And so I think that's really important to be able to look at both perspectives and things. And so this poem was really an important thing for me to write, to have that dual approach, being able to see both sides. And over the last couple of months, for me personally, I've lost a lot of opportunities being a performer in live events, and there's no live events for the next year. I don't even know what's going to happen, fam. I'm going to keep making videos out of my room like this. I don't mind. It's cool. But I also miss being in front of an audience and getting that energy and, doing my thing. We're all going through something in our own different ways. But I think it's super important that we take the time to just look at the different perspectives that are out there and reflect on, the good that has come of those situations, because there's always good in the bad. There's always bad in the good too, right? We just have to be able to have the perspective to see it that way. And so I want to leave you guys with that message. Just wanted to share a quick poem, say hello, wish you guys all the best. I hope that you guys are having a wonderful summer and staying safe, hanging out 6 feet apart, wearing masks and all that. And I hope to see you guys next year at the conference if we are able to do it in person. But just sending you guys lots of love. Thank you to the Spark team for having me back. Even though we're doing it virtually, it's super exciting to be back here. And all the best with the conference, my friends. Take care.
Thank you for that incredible speech, Wally. I love that you emphasize the importance of positivity.
Now let's hear some information about our sponsors, DigitalOcean, Bugsy, and 1Password.
It's go time. You've been developing like a beast and your app is ready to go live. Just gotta grab a little piece of cloud server action and what the HTML is that? It's gonna take forever to configure everything from this control panel. Seriously, way too complicated. Oh well, at least you're only gonna have to pay this much for that unless you use this one of these with the option of those once you've reached your limit on this. Wait, what have you gotten yourself into? It's like a million tiny robots climbed into the cloud and created a server host for other robots. You need something better than that. You need a server host built by developers for developers. Well, take a deep breath and relax, because DigitalOcean is about to make your life simple. DigitalOcean helps you get things done faster. With an easy-to-use control panel, simple API, and straightforward pricing, you'll be up and running in no time. How fast? How about you can have an SSD cloud server deployed in 55 seconds? It's time cloud hosting was simple. Join us at DigitalOcean.com.
Meet Alvin. He's a developer who loves building cool apps. Part of this process is dealing with bugs, and Alvin's bug tracker usually looks like this. Unfortunately, Alvin must spend a fair amount of time collecting the missing pieces to decipher the bug reports. Luckily, there's now an easier solution. It's called Bugsy. Let's take a look. When a bug's reported or the app crashes, Bugsy automatically sends a notification to your bug tracker of choice. Click the link and it takes you to Bugsy's dashboard, where all the crucial data is displayed. On the left is a video that shows user actions that led to the problem. On the right is general information, device specs, build, OS versions, and much more. There's also all console logs and all the network requests that the app was doing. And when applicable, you'll even see crash reports with file names and line numbers that caused the crash. And on the bottom, you'll find all the system and custom traces and events. When you play the video, The system even shows the last moments as it was seen by the person reporting it, while allowing you to peek under the hood. Think of it like a flight recorder. So how did Alvin get all this? By literally adding one line of code. His users and testers are now able to send detailed bug reports with videos and logs, just by taking a screenshot. That means Alvin gets to spend less time on bugs and more on new features. And you can too, by registering for free at bugsy.com.
You have hundreds of accounts for websites, apps, and services, and each one gets a password. Most of us take something easy to remember, our dog's name backwards plus the year of our first kiss, and use that for everything. Easy? Sure. Secure? No, not at all. If one account were to get compromised, your whole life could be turned upside down. The smart thing to do would be create a unique password for every account, right? Secure? Sure. Easy? No, not at all. So what do? Write them in a notebook? Sticky notes? Make up a song? No, what you do is use a super smart, super simple app called 1Password. With 1Password, all you need is one password. What the app does is collect all your unique passwords into one super safe place and locks them up behind something only you know, your 1Password. And it's integrated right there in your browser. So when it's time to log in, just click the button, enter your 1Password, and you're in. Here's another cool thing. You come to a new site that asks you to make a new account. 1Password will generate a new secure password for you and save it where it needs to go. Next time you want to go to that site, just hit the button. 1Password will do its thing, and you're in. And it's not just for passwords, it's for all sorts of information you need to keep safe. Bank numbers, credit cards, top secret ideas, files, anything. All locked up where no one can get to them but you, with your 1Password. And your passwords are with you wherever you are because your 1Password syncs automatically between every computer and device you own. So it's always up to date. No more sticky notes, no more dog names, just you and your 1Password.
Thanks again to the sponsors for making this hackathon possible. Hey Ella, what are you most excited about for this hackathon?
Definitely the theme reveal. The suspense is killing me. What do you think this year's theme is going to be?
I don't know. Maybe it's healthcare, or maybe it's online education, or maybe it's the best way to follow us on Instagram.
I just hope it's not cake. Everything is cake these days.
I think these are all great guesses. Let's play the release video and reveal the official theme of the hackathon.
The theme for Spark from Home is
Okay, wasn't that just awesome? Our theme this year is mental health. Everybody experiences psychological pressure, whether it be in the form of stress from homework or anxiety from a job interview. This year, we want to see how the integration of technology can improve the mental health sector. Your hack should somehow advance the way that mental health is either diagnosed or treated with the incorporation of technology.
We can't wait to see what your project looks like after 36 hours. All communication will be done through Discord. Please feel free to ask us a question there or through our email, admin@startthespark.info.
Good luck. Your time starts now.